Hello and welcome to The Spirit Safe. My name's Rob. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. What do we have this time? Well, it's something a bit different. We've not had an English whiskey on the channel yet. So I picked this up when I was in the UK. It is the English Whisky Company's Fine Single Malt. It's from Marks and Spencer's and it's bottled for them. You can see the M&S logo on the back there. I paid maybe 15, 18, 20 pounds for this. Bottled at 43% ABV. It doesn't say anything about chill filtration, so I have to assume it probably is chill filtered. But as for natural colour, I think it probably is because it's a very light straw colour. So this is made at the English Whisky Distillery in Roundham in Norfolk. Norfolk is the kind of agricultural homeland in England. It's off into the east of the country. It's all very flat. Lots of cereals are grown there. People speak with a bit of a twang in the accent. Never been there myself. So yes, this is distilled entirely using English barley, and they do produce a very nice barley. Have I had an English whiskey before? Yes, I have. Probably more than 15 years ago. I think it was from this distillery or from something like the St. George distillery. I really can't remember. It was a gift. I wasn't impressed with it, but my palate is much better now than it was then, and I'm sure the whiskey has changed, quite frankly, in the probably 15 or so years since I last had an English whiskey. So for all intents and purposes, this is a new experience for me. Let's see what we have. Very unusual maltiness going on here. Hint of oak, yes, but it all seems to be in the malt. There's something here that is very, very hard to describe. I can't describe it. Honestly, I wish I could. I've been trying very, very hard. There's a real alcohol note though. Maybe a little more than you expect for 43% ABV. There's a few candy jar notes, maybe licorice, all sorts in there. Sort of a Turkish delight note, but a lot of citrus. I get lemon, like a citronella note. Bit of mandarin orange and sweet lime, and very, very tart apple as well, like the skins of a Bramley apple. There's some apricot, dried mango, and very overripe pear as well. But really, it's sort of alcohol notes and citrus that's leading it. I do get a kind of warm donut, not with the jam or a lot of sugar. You know those ring donuts? I get a little bit of that. Hint of cloves, light hint of oak. In terms of the malt profile, it's kind of a champagne malt to it. So when you've let the citrus notes start to give way a little bit, it's kind of like a Glenkinchie 12. There's definitely an acetone kind of pear drops note, and a muted evergreen or spruce. Later you get a fuller, more kind of poised citrus maltiness, hint of green bird's eye chili, and a soft tanned leather as well. And when it really opens up, there's a little bit of milk chocolate. So it's got quite a full nose. Sort of busy in a way for something so light. There is kind of a lot going on, but I find the citrus note a little off-putting on the nose. Still, it's a nice full nose. on the palate, rather a lot of citrus. Arrives with some barley sugar. Very, very strange maltiness, rather bitter on the palate also. You know, it's light, sweet, bittersweet, malty. There is, and this is going to sound really, really bizarre, there is an odd note of bubble liquid. You know, the stuff that children have to blow the bubbles with the wand. Very distinct note of that on the palate. Maybe a perfumed soap, kind of a sweet herbal note also. Tang of something plasticky as well. And a little hint of green chili at the back. Sweet at that time. Sweet white grape. Turns to a kind of dryish champagne. Finish has got plenty of Bramley apple, honeysuckle, slightly brambly notes. The bubble mixture does continue a little bit onto the finish, but it's got a nice herbal wintergreen, kind of a herbal tincture or liqueur as well. It's also intensely mineral. So that's what I pick up from this. I'm not really used to English whiskies. As I say, I've only had 2 in the last 15 or so years. My impressions of this are that the nose is full and it's not bad, but when I compare it to my beloved Scotch single malts, and this is a single malt whiskey, when I compare it to my Scotch single malts, including those that aren't big peat monsters, big sherry monsters, whatever, I find it doesn't quite hold up, particularly on the palate and the finish. The nose is fine, but the palate and finish lets it down a little bit. So if you see one of these, by all means, for a small amount, pick it up, but I won't be risking huge amounts of money on things from this distillery. Of course, it is without an age statement. I'm sure if I picked up an 18-year-old, it would be lovely. This particular one I won't buy again. Any subscribers who are used to English whiskies and know a lot about them, feel free to let me know of any. I'd be very glad to have any recommendations from you for anything that you've tried and have particularly enjoyed. But for me, this one I think treat with a little bit of caution, particularly if you are sensitive to strong bitter herbal and kind of mineral notes. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the review. Hope you found it helpful. Like, comment and subscribe. Anyone who's tried this particular malt, please let me know what your thoughts are on it. Might be that I'm just not used to this particular style. Anyway, thank you very much. Like, comment and subscribe. Hope to see you again soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.